Hi, I'm Suzanne, and today I'll be talking about magnetic properties and the application of magnets in the engineering field. But first, a little bit about me. I'm a biomedical engineering student at San Jose State, and what that is, it's the application of engineering into the medical field. So a lot of what we do is working on devices or programs to help cure or diagnose people with suffering from various diseases. The reason I really wanted to go to San Jose State is because first I really love the area that it's in. It's in the heart of Silicon Valley, and then it's surrounded by all these really cool tech companies working on just really awesome devices that you kind of firsthand get to see them roll out and just get to firsthand experience just kind of all the really cool tech that they're working on. But second, I really wanted to go to San Jose State because I wanted to be able to learn different ideas and concepts that I can apply into my own projects that I hope to work on in the future. Why I decided to become an engineer, when I was little, I used to work a lot with my dad in helping him fix cars, or he used to RC race a lot, so I'd help him kind of make some of his cars, and I thought it was really cool, and I'd see him race, and it was really interesting to me. So later in life, when I was in high school, I actually joined a robotics team, and I used to compete with that, and it kind of gave me the remnants of seeing my dad race, and it was really cool. So I really wanted to go become an engineer because I really love doing that, and I love being able to create things and feel like I'm making new products and stuff. And I also really like the medical field too, so that's why I decided to go and pursue biomedical engineering. So if you have any interest in engineering, San Jose State's definitely the best school to be studying at because you're one in a really cool location, and the teachers at San Jose State are probably one of the best people you'll ever meet. So moving forward, I want to go and discuss more about magnetic properties and how it applies into engineering, specifically materials engineering. So what materials engineering is, it's the manipulation of different materials properties in order to use them in different projects. And we'll discuss more about that. So what is a magnet? A magnet is a material that produces a magnetic force. And so what that is, it's an invisible force produced by different materials that is able to push or pull various other materials that produce a magnetic force. We've all seen magnets in our refrigerators. So I have a refrigerator magnet here that I pulled from my fridge. It says to conserve water. This is able to stick onto my fridge because of the magnetic force that it produces in the material that's made out of. So specifically, the material that magnets are made of are metals. But not all metals are magnetic. It takes a really specific type of metal in order that naturally creates that magnetic field. An example of this are iron and nickel, so like nickel coins. But nickel coins are actually 25% pure nickel and 75% copper, I believe. So, but if you were to put a nickel to a magnet, it would actually push or pull the magnet and actually react to that magnetic force. However, just because a metal is magnetic doesn't mean you can't make it magnetic. This doesn't apply for all metals, but an example of a metal that you can make magnetic is steel. I actually have a steel nail right here. So what steel is, it's an alloy of iron and carbon in order to create a really strong metal. So with iron, it's really soft, and I'd be able to bend this if it was made out of iron. However, because it's steel, I'm having a really difficult time to even try to move it a little bit. But that's an example of a metal that I can make magnetic. So exactly how I would make this steel nail into a magnet would be running an electric current through it. So, and this is what I'll be demoing for you guys today. So exactly how an example of this would actually be if you've seen a junkyard and when they pick up the cars with that big gigantic magnet, that's an electromagnet. So what it's doing, when it's off, it can't pick anything up. but when you turn the electric currency on, it's able to pick things up. And so what it would do, it would go to the car or different material that they would want to move around in the junkyard, and they would turn on the magnet to go and pick up the car or something, and they would move it to where they would want, to the specific location they want to, and they would turn the electricity off in order to drop it. And so that's a good example of what an electromagnet. So moving on to the demo portion of this presentation, I will be making an electromagnet today out of 3 different types of easy to find household appliances, or not appliances, just materials you can find around the house. I do want to forewarn though, you should use this, do this in the presence of a parent or guardian. The magnet does get a little hot when it is touching the wire, so you want your parent or guardian to be handling this when you guys are trying this out on your own, if you are going to. So what you need is a battery, as I showed. This is a 1.5 volt battery, but you can kind of use any type of battery you find. A steel nail that I just kind of found laying around, and a copper wire. I just kind of grabbed this from just some tools that I kind of had laying around. So what you do with this, you're going to get the copper wire, and so what this does, it is a good conductor of electricity, so it helps the electricity flow from the battery and kind of flow through, so when you touch it, it's able to kind of easily allow it to flow through. So what you're going to do, you're going to grab the copper wire and wrap it around the steel nail, and this is creating a coil, and this is going to help when it's touching the battery, it's going to be the electricity is going to flow through and kind of coil around and help to induce a magnetic force on the steel nail, and that's when it's going to make magnetic. And so twirl it around the nail. I have a much nicer version right here, so this is what it should look like. You want the 2 tail end pieces because this is what's going to be touching the magnet. So what you're going to do, and this is when your parent or guardian should kind of take over, you're going to have it touch the top part and the bottom part, and now you have an electromagnet. And now you can kind of, if you have anything that's magnetic, you can try it out. So I have this other steel nail right here, and now it's going to attract, and now you have a magnet. So future Suzanne here. I was watching back my demo that I gave, and I never actually really explained why the 2 steel nails were actually attracted to each other when the electric current was on it. So steel does not have a natural magnetic force. As you can see when I try to attach it, it just drops. However, when I attach this one to the battery, I also apologize, I called the battery a magnet a couple times in there. I hope you guys understood. But so when this is touching, my little electromagnet is formed, and the 2 nails kind of stick to each other. The reason why it's able to stick is because the electric current is running through this coil, which is allowing it to have a magnetic force. But because this other nail is touching the other nail, this one also kind of has a magnetic force because now some current is also running through this nail as well. So both of these nails have a slight, this nail has a much stronger magnetic force, obviously, compared to this one. But it has enough of a magnetic force to apparently sometimes stick to it. It's usually a little bit better. There you go. But yeah, if you were confused about why the 2 were able to have a magnetic attraction to each other, that's the reason why. So with that explanation, going back to regular scheduled program, Suzanne. If I were to take this out and try to just stick it, it's not going to attract it because there's no electric currency running through it. But if I were to have it touching there, it is working again. So that's how you make an electromagnet out of 3 pieces of material that you can find in your home. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the demo. I definitely think it's really interesting and really cool. I remember doing some research and doing just kind of reading about how to go and make this, and a lot of people were saying, oh, I remember doing that when I was in first and second grade, and I had never done it. So doing it when kind of learning about it in college, I still find it very amusing to be able to make an electromagnet at home out of just three different easy materials to find. Maybe you guys can find the material around your house and show your parent or guardian how to make an electromagnet. Maybe teach them a little bit about what it is. So out of the presentation, I really hope you guys are able to define what a magnet is, know what types of metals are actually magnetic and what aren't magnetic, and then now you guys know what a electromagnet is. Um, I do kind of want to end the presentation on a fun note. When I was doing research for this, I kind of discovered some new information that I thought was really fun, and I want to share with you guys. So here are two things that you didn't know were magnetic. The first one is cereal. Cereal is magnetic. It's not actually the cereal bits that are magnetic, it's what they add into it. So a lot of cereal manufacturers add iron into cereal because consuming iron is actually really good for you. Your blood is able to go and help. Iron is able to go and capture oxygen, which is able to go and flow through your system, and so it's actually really good for you to consume iron. So cereal is magnetic because of the iron in it. So if you have a magnet and you have some cereal, maybe you guys can check out to see whether the cereal will stick to your magnet. Another thing that is magnetic that I thought was really interesting is money. So, so the U.S. Prints their dollar bills with magnetic ink, and so this helps to prevent counterfeit money to be used to pay for things. So when they want to check out to see whether they think it's maybe a fake dollar bill, they have various tests. So there's a line test and also a magnetic test. So just some fun things that you guys can maybe check out. You can probably maybe go and find a magnet and see whether it's going to stick to your dollar bill. So those are some two fun things that maybe you guys didn't know were magnetic before, and now you guys know. You guys are going to share them. I hope you guys had fun watching my presentation on magnetic properties, and I really encourage you guys to maybe do a scavenger hunt around your house, maybe see what is magnetic that you didn't know was before. I really hope you guys are all staying safe, and thank you for watching my presentation. Thank you. Bye.